bigs is working. And he said, yeah, we'll see how it goes this next half. But the biggest thing, too, is just to free up Tyrese and hopefully get him into rhythm starting in this third.
And actually, before the game, Nick Nurse said to us he wasn't sure how this series was going to be played. He had to see how game one went, and the way that the Knicks, with his 8th 20-plus point half in a first half in his playoff career. He had 14 in the first quarter, 13 in the second quarter, 27 overall on the night. Let's see what Philly does offensively to start here. By Brunson, here comes Hart. The runaway train to the rim.
Littleton just snapped back and just picked that pass off. You know, they're setting that ball screen. He's behind. He's snapping back on the pop, and they're going the other way.
25-point Knick lead. And Embiid missed it. Oubre, the follow, goes down to 34-18 in favor of New York.
Yeah, that first half, the defense of New York, as good as I've seen in a while. And really, other than those 14 free throws, I mean, the Philadelphia offense just out of sorts and really struggling against this pressure.
Edgecombe, Maxey running with him. Maxey attack, keeps the ball, hangs, and he from Hart in transition. Numbers the other way. Open man is Towns. Thought about the three. Bridges on the extra. Looking to drive. Reset. Hart 10 to shoot. Mismatch, and he airmailed it.
Burley, you can get that thing back in a 2-on-1.
Embiid against Towns with 3 fouls. Double from Bridges. And again, right into the hands of Brunson. And Anunoby. The sidestep and slam.
And not to start, and obviously those live ball turnovers leading to easy opportunities in transition. But
Paul George, lone starter who was not in double figures in that first half. George swiping at Towns. These two very close friends off the court over the course of their NBA careers. 8 to shoot now for Brunson. Right back to Towns in that same short corner. 4 to shoot. Embiid there. Hook it. Bridges got left alone.
They're on the baseline. And Towns with the vision, able to find him there. Shot clock was getting low. And what a beautiful play there by the Knicks.
And then the steal. Maxey fouls Bridges. Good job in the first round, taking care of the basketball. They were #1 in fewest turnovers at 10.7 a game. They already have 3 in the first 3 minutes of this quarter. Bridges looking to drive. Now Anunoby for 3.
Hasn't wavered to start this second half.
Edgecombe, look out below. VJ Edgecombe.
He comes off that ball screen. He is flying off there. Gets around Brunson, and he is cleared for takeoff from that right wing.
Meanwhile, OG Anunoby continuing what was his highest scoring playoff series of his career, 21.5. In the first round against Atlanta.
Felt resistance defensively. New York able to get down the lane with ease. Points in the paint. They've been dominant. 40 points in the paint in this game thus far.
Right back to Edgecombe. Get Brunson involved in the action. And then Edgecombe finds the loose ball with 6 to shoot. Right back on Brunson. Edgecombe long stride for 2.
We saw it a little bit. He has been fabulous offensively. So to make him work on this end, wise by Edgecombe back-to-back possessions.
Just over 4 minutes gone in the third. Knicks led by 27 a moment ago. Back to zone defensively. Towns attacks it.
And he attack off the bounce. Find those gaps. Unselfish play. And the Knicks continue to thrive.
George cross, drive. Try to kick it. Edgecombe with a save. George relocates. Can't hit the 3. Philadelphia 6 of 18 from 3. The Knicks 10 of 18 from 3. Towns will try now and hit another point game at MSG. Maxey might have been kicked by Towns, and then Embiid flails it towards the rim. They're going to
more sets. Guys are getting involved, and it hasn't sacrificed or hasn't compromised Brunson's ability to go get a bucket as well. Much harder to defend these new Knicks.
Well, on top of that, Grant, guys will have Brunson and his ability to do what we know he can. You have it is a tough team to slow down right now with the confidence and just the way they're playing.
Against Denver, him and Jaden McDaniels being big reasons why Minnesota is on round 2. One more for Embiid, and he goes 2 for 3. So 13 for Maxey, 12 for Oubre, and 14 for Paul George. But the Knicks have gotten 27 from Brunson, 17 from Towns, and 18 from Anunoby. Hard drive and kick. It's Towns again on the outside. Missed the three. B.
Finally a stop. And honestly, that 2-3 zone, it is porous to the middle. Still, New York getting wherever they want.
Edgecombe comes up short. Shoe, it's a 5-on-4. Open man, hard drive to the corner. Bridges, bottom.
And so forcing them to help and creating that open corner three from Mikal Bridges.
How about the way he met his pass, too? Maxey was lurking there for a steal. Josh Hart beating the pass and making the next play for his teammate.
George scissors through and Philadelphia, but this is now a team that, as Nick Nurse said, he thought it was good that they went through what they did going down 3-1. He feels like adversity actually brings a team closer together. They feel like they're the closest they've been all.
Take care of business as they've done thus far. This Philadelphia team, I mean, they will bounce back. Mentally tough, a lot of grit and resilience, and they will adapt and adjust and continue to compete throughout this series.
Brunson, no. Drummond the rebound. Up ahead, trying to get it to George, but by Bridges. McBride, no. Hart was left all alone, and he didn't recognize it. Half the shot clock gone now for McBride. Bridges step away. Another three.
Whatever he's wanted in this game one against Philly.
Approaching 5 minutes to play in this third quarter. And now Embiid and Maxey are off the floor for Philly as Edwards comes off.
To let it fly from three, 37% in the regular season. Out of that timeout, Nick Nurse draws it up for him to drill it.
First bench points of the game for Philadelphia. They got Edwards, Grimes, Drummond, Barlow, and Edgecombe on the floor. McBride doesn't have the answer. Now Grimes looking to push the pace. See if maybe getting some rest for Embiid and Maxey after the 7-game series. Drummond can't hit on that. That's been his new specialty.
4 of 6 from 3 in the Boston series.
And shot nearly 36% in the regular season.
And he may have the best three-point celebration.
It's high up there.
It's expensive.
That's big. Got to get them some rest, hoping that they can be a little fresher for game 2.
But definitely the big picture for Nick Nurse and his team. Understands exactly what you were just saying right there. And we may not see those guys the rest of the game, but also it's an opportunity for the guys off the bench to show some stuff here, and they come out and punch him in the mouth early.
And then a tough inbound. They have looked like a different team as Drummond stepped out of bounds. And all of those coming from three-point range. Meanwhile, New York has gotten themselves a little bit 9 points off the bench for the Knicks. 76ers with 5 turnovers in this third quarter. Drummond camping out, looking to attack now on Robinson. Oh boy. Back down. Drummond drop step in traffic and a foul.
The back down from the three-point line.
Yeah.
Can we get it again?
Yeah, let's go.
Edgecombe. Edwards, he'll try again. And Barlow is there for the offensive rebound. Second chance, Grimes attack. Edgecombe loaded up. And he hits the
Nick Nurse goes to later on in this series.
maybe establishing some momentum as well going into that second game. And that was a travel for Anunoby, so a quick retie by Fowler. Edgecombe again. Thought he was hit, and still. The defense for New York has been impressive. 42% from the floor for Philly. 8 of 23 from 3, and another foul is going to send Brunson a couple of years ago in that first round series with 40+ points in the final 3 games by Naz Reid.
That's great coordination there with the fans. They're all...
Well, you've got to coordinate. Did in that last series. 3 straight 40-point games. He was dueling with Maxey with 46 in that epic Game 5 here at the Garden. Bryant play clock, spray it out. Barlow drive, Edgecombe with 2, has to get to the rim, and he was fouled.
It's a possession. Jordan Clarkson is a pretty fascinating case study of a guy that's even
had so much praise for exactly that. He said that when he walked into the Utah locker room, if he was wearing something the next day, everybody in that locker room was
his 30-point game like ever. I mean, he's just done it so effortlessly.
And that's going to be a foul on the outside. Brunson, Tyler Freed. Glacier freeze combined with Glacier win.
Leading me, loving me. Love is contagious.
I'll take that.
Love is in the air at MSG. Great ball movement again by New York, and that's going to be a foul on Bona.
use of his time.
Yeah.
Crushed him into the front row.
That is.
Don't come shake my hand after you fouled me hard.
No, you would not have accepted.
No, I wouldn't have accepted.
Wow. That is the third foul on Bona. In the playoffs, he felt like it was a really big boost, and the fact that they changed things and it worked in the first round was over.
And I love his honesty when we sat with him. He said, look, I'm still trying to learn these guys. I'm figuring them out. They've been together. I'm the new face. Things out, mixing things up, coverages, offensive attack, and they had to do that in the last series against Atlanta, change how they went about their business, and it worked.
Brunson flush. Brunson score. Now, Tracy, I think, is just trying to make sure that we're aware. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He is absolutely correct.
We should just add him to the broadcast.
All right, listen, that's right. It might happen. Knicks wanted to travel. Instead of 75 points is right around where we saw Philadelphia in that Boston series. They were scoring it well enough, but the defense is what locked in down the stretch. Right now, this Knicks offense is at a different level. 6-second difference between the clocks. McBride, a three! 5 seconds left in the quarter. Grimes is going to have to get it off. He does. He hits with .2. Lisa Kudrow, Robert Irwin, and Stephen Van Zandt performance as well. As we start this fourth quarter, the Knicks offense 117 points through 3 quarters. In Game 6 against Atlanta, they've got 109 to start the fourth here tonight. Full bench unit with Grimes, Barlow, Bona, Watford, and Terry. McBride short. Clarkson, McBride, Hakordi, Shamet, and Alvarado. The 5 for New York. And a foul going the other way. Shamet hits the deck. I thought you were going to say you're playing 21 and somebody's got 20.
Oh, that too. Or playing against the Knicks back in the 90s.
Yeah, there you go. We saw Patrick Ewing in the building. As McBride's off the mark. Shamet on the second chance. Had it knocked away by Grimes. Scott Foster got out of the way. Dalen Terry comes over to greet Shamet, the former Sixer. He'll pull. And doesn't get the roll.
The call, but
you don't remember that?
Yeah, I used to come here in the Garden in the 90s. He didn't say much. It was definitely not nice, you know? He's evolved.
Yeah, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, no, it is.
You love to hear human growth. Watford couldn't finish it. Poked around.
I do love what the Knicks do. They bring their legends back. They bring guys who put equity.
Towns, who has 2 postseason triple-doubles now with the Knicks. That guy right there, Clyde Frazier, has the most postseason triple-doubles, and that's another foul. He sure did, but you know what? He went to West Virginia. Yeah. That's what they do with West Virginia. Robert Irwin checks in. It's Walker, Watford, Terry, Barlow, and Grimes for Nick Nurse. Mike Brown said, you know, there's so much about basketball that is simple. If you just take it down to the very basic concept of the game, it really to make the defense continue to guess.
Well, the flex, right? Like when you're dealing with our Anunoby's coming off the flex cut, but if we defend that, now it's Brunson in the 2-man game with Cat. Like, you've got a lot of options. And one of them, it's an action that high school teams run, middle school teams run.
And a steal from Clarkson. Collett's going to hear a big ovation every time he touches it. Same with Alvarado for 3. Gwen Grimes and Clarkson been going at it last few times down the floor. Now it's Barlow into the paint. They'll push it up and in. Nicknames in the NBA. Grand Theft Alvarado is going up again. He's going to try it again. He can't steal a 3 this time. And then a throw away from Hakordi. Numbers the other way. Shovel, extra. Terry for 3. That's good.
Lesson that whether you lose by 1 or 30 in the last round, it doesn't matter. It's still just a loss. With the rest situation they had coming in tonight, it wasn't going to be an easy one anyway. They'll regroup and be much better in Game 2.
Good ball movement. Here's Kolek. That's a 3. Tyler triple. The Knicks are pouring it on. Terry can't back it up. Rebound, put back short from Walker. And Kolek.
Well, the guards off the bench for New York, shooting. Alvarado knocking down that 3, and an interesting 3-point celebration. Kolek does the same, chirping at the Hawks weren't.
Yes, he had language that had initials of BTA. 20 to shoot now for Watford. Looking to attack, back down on Shemet. Just too big inside, but he couldn't finish it. Theft Alvarado, who's now going to be on the bench. Does he win the great nicknames between the two steals guys? Barrier Thief is
I like
good.
the Great Barrier Thief.
That's pretty good.
But I'm biased.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you know.
Unbiased Grand Theft Alvarado, and Jose has backed it up. 3-ball up, and Clarkson could. So for Nick Nurse, that said, he really said that this game one was going to dictate how the series was going to be played. You feel that a little bit in what they did against Boston. Came back in game shots, which makes a huge difference. Did not shoot it well so far tonight. A little bit better here later in the third into this fourth quarter. As Barlow feeds it extra to the outside pairing. Jab, try, fine, Walker nearly sent away, but he was fouled. I feel like I can have a sense of what you're thinking.
Well, you were spot on. I was questioning you, which I don't do often.
No, you're just off of it.
Yeah, somehow
I got to get some advice on
That's
that
a
one.
true vet right there.
I got to get some.
How does he slide out? There's that much room.
Yeah, no, there's. We only know the NBC history is very rich with the slide in.
That's true.
We'll have to learn about a slide out. Dottier way off on the. So we saw Mo Diawara check in for the first time. A rookie from France, 51st pick in the draft, who had some really impressive moments in the regular season for New York. Some fans were clamoring for him in that first-round series. Nice, Charlo.
He is a good athlete. He is. Grant, you talked about it. Active offensive rebounder, good cutter. Him getting some confidence here wouldn't be the worst thing for Philly.
The lob and finish. This continued onslaught offensive clinic for New York, shooting 63% out New York, and the confidence that they've built from having to change throughout the season, adjust how they play in the regular season in the first-round series against Atlanta. Kolek gets all the way to the franchise history to win a series after falling down as such in a best-of-7. And he said it was a good confidence boost for the group. It was a weird series because, as mentioned, he felt they played awful, direct quote, in 2 of the 4 losses, or 2 of the 4 games, I should say, to start that 3-1. That one's off the mark from 3. He said you just needed to do a couple things a little bit better, and they did that. Shot it better, defended, coming back from 3-1 down. And Joel Embiid said after Game 7, no shade to the guys that I've played with in the past, but this is different. The fight is there. We've had good teams of just their camaraderie that they've built. As we take a look at the upcoming playoff schedule for Game 4 at 3:30 Eastern time. For more on these games, you've got to imagine they're going to have to come back as they did in Game 2 against Boston. But overall, you have that now full experience of, hey, no matter the circumstance, down 3-1, down double digits in the second
whole season. I mean, just guys constantly in and out, injuries, a suspension for Paul George. They finally got their full roster together, and wow, it's a lot of contact there.
Let's check in with Ashley. And we'll see if we can get it to her momentarily as Kolek finds the bottom from the outside. Kolek now 8 points, 3 of 3 shooting. Ashley, you got us now?
Yeah, I got you now. I was talking to myself. Starters very much this season. He said we had to hold it down while guys were out. We had to continue to chip away at it every single day. And he said now we have made it here. We're feeling confident, and like you plug and play when needed.
Yeah, the other thing that Nick Nurse said was the rate in which they're improving has been, camaraderie was so high.
Well, and I thought, Noah, as that Boston series went on, their defense locked in to one of the really elite, from an efficiency standpoint, offenses in the NBA. Now, the Tatum situation, and certainly with the number of threes that were being shot, but that's going to have to happen. It can
a game that the Knicks starters did not play in the fourth quarter. Of course, final score in that Game 6 victory in Atlanta, 140-89. So already Philadelphia a little closer to that. 15 points closer to me, in fact.